I spill from your mouth. Rotting waves come destiny. Feel the soul changing all it bleeds.
Unless you see me.
No, no, I only said the words, but it doesn't, that's no stress, man. We don't want to look at
Oh,
our
good.
head.
Oh,
We
good
don't
then.
we don't want to look at our heads anyway, do we?
Yeah. Right on.
So how are you, man? How's it's pretty exciting for you guys to be coming back next year.
Yeah, man. We enjoy coming to Australia so much. The New Zealand was the first time. Last time was our first time going there as well, and what a cool experience. But obviously, we're so far apart. We don't get to do it very often enough. So we are extremely excited about making the journey.
Yeah, because the album was pretty phenomenal. Like I think it's pretty amazing. I think it's you kind of got a reputation as kind of the most consistent death metal band. I think that's kind of super accurate because the albums, you're not just releasing albums. I mean, I think they're very consistent albums, and it was a phenomenal album. The album is so good.
Awesome. Thanks, dude. And we couldn't be more proud the way that thing came out. We knew we had a couple cool ideas, but once we really jumped into it and saw what these songs were turning out to be, we were all excited. And just the songwriting, the performance on it, and then Joe Sincata's production that he put on the album is just incredible. And again, we're super proud of it as well, and I appreciate the good words.
Yeah, because it's just yeah. I mean, definitely one thing about it is the production is really phenomenal. It's really forward facing. It's aggressive, but it's yeah. Just the production in every way manner is just amazing. But I also think like what you touched on, the songwriting is pretty amazing. I mean, you're obviously a band that you've varied your tempo over the years, but yeah, there's quite a mix on there, isn't there? Really, like from start to end.
Yeah, and maybe that's because we had plenty of time. Pandemic wise. Also, Obituary never puts pressure on ourselves to release albums. So we when the time is right, we always know. And this time it just felt good. The minute we started writing, we had ideas that we tucked away, and we really took our time writing on it. And then production wise, this is multiple albums now doing it with Joe, and I think we're just finding our chemistry. And his magic upon what we track at the studio. It just the albums are coming out better and better, and this one's a true testament of working together enough times to really find each other's magic and find the chemistry. And Joe really hit one out of the park with this album and this production.
Yeah, like you said, because it does take it does take a few years to gel and to really, kind of form that kind of, that bond. Because as you said, the other two were really solid, but I think this really, as you said, knocks it out of the park. Yeah, it'll be phenomenal to hear live. I mean, I think it's just the variation from. I particularly love how the opener is so aggressive, barely alive, so aggressive, and then the ending, the last song. I think it bookends it perfectly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I've always been the most hands-on when it comes to, putting songs together, but also putting albums together, meaning the song list, the order in which they're going to be, which is cool. The band seems to allow me to do that because they wouldn't have a choice. I got the loudest mouth in the band anyway. but
Excellent.
but yeah, I knew it immediately when we wrote Barely Alive. I knew there was no question that was going to be the opener, because it just punches you right in the face. But then when we wrote um, Be Warned, the last song on the album,
Mm.
right when we wrote it, I knew right off the bat. I told my brother, I said, this song's going to do a long fade out, and it's going to be the last song on the album. And this was a year before we even recorded it. I said, this is how it's going to happen.
Wow.
You could fight me over it, but I felt it immediately because it's such a brutal song, but it's so slow. It's probably the slowest thing we've written. that I just knew it was screaming. It was screaming to fade me out, a long fade out, and that could be the end of a record, and people are going to want to hear more. And I told my brother that easily a year before the album was even recorded.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. And unlike what you said, I think sequence of songs is so important. I think they can't be, thrown
Yeah,
together, particularly in a world of Spotify and everything where people, I think it's super important to hear the album from start to end. And that's,
yeah.
yeah, it's,
I think we're in the I think metal, heavy metal, death metal. We are we are the genre of music that we have always done it, um, and we always still do it. And our fans, they don't just go, oh yeah, play song 7 real quick. I love that one. They worship albums and they play it from beginning to end. And they're very knowledgeable and they're very smart and they know that bands put it in an order for a reason. Even the spaces in between songs mean so much to albums. And some people don't think that. Some people don't even realize that. They just put on an album and they don't know why they enjoy it so much. But the ones that really dive in and they know that it's an art and we do work hard on, it sounds funny, we work very hard at the in between songs, like how long of a pause till that next song starts. It's a lot. That's a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of what makes some albums from really good to really great.
yeah, I think that's also sort of paying respect to the artist as well, that you do actually take the time. And I suppose traditionally that's the only way we kind of listen to it, and then you're bringing into, looking at the album, the artwork, and you got your headphones on, you listen to it
Yeah,
on an old record player. I think that's what we grew up on. So that's
right. It
but
is. That's our genre. That's our realm of what we all used to do. We did it as young kids, of course, with rock and roll and Led Zeppelin albums, and you that's how you listen to those albums. And of course, like King Diamond albums, and when we were going into it, you wanted to hear what they had to say from beginning to end. It was like reading a book. You don't just go in there and just play your favorite song. You start from the scratch and know that that's what they want you to do, and we still do that. And I know our fans still worship that and really want that.
yeah, no, I think that's a good component of it. And what you were talking about earlier, I think one of the interesting things, apart from you're really integrated into the songs. It's not like like I think you're obviously, your brother's got amazingly unique vocals. I think the drums have it's integrated so much, as in you can see that you're involved with the songwriting. Like it's not it's not very basic. That's what I'm trying to say. I think because you've always had a role in writing those songs, you really can hear it on this album and the other albums.
Yeah,
It's really you're not just adding a beat to it. That's what I'm trying to say. It's you can
right on.
really hear it, man.
That's great. That's great. I love that people feel that and that people are aware of that, because it is fun. It's not just being a drummer. It's creating songs. And after so many years, I mean decades now together, we do want to create. We don't just want to write a song. We want to create it. We want that thing to be killer at the from the at the final product. We you want a lot as much thought as you can put into it to make sure it's the best song that you are trying for. Some songs are simple. Some songs don't need help, but some songs are just screaming like, what else can be going on here? What can we make? How can we make this song cooler? And that's a big part of what I like to do with the band.
Yeah, I think it's like there's little there's bits of whether it's the pace or the little fills that you're adding, and there's almost little like jazzy bits in that. And I seen the guy out of the darkness. He did a YouTube video about why he likes Obituary, and it was amazing. Like I don't know if you've seen it, but he talks about how it's catchy and the songwriting in it, and that it's pretty amazing. Like, because people were kind of taking the piss out of him because he had an Obituary shirt, but he was saying, no, this is I really dig it.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
a
no, I saw that, and that was cool, and it was genuine. You could tell it was genuine. He knew what he was
100%.
talking about. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, because I think that sense of rhythm really carries it, you know. And has it always been? You've obviously been in the band with your brother for a long time. How does that always go? Is there any kind of bickering, or do you? I know you've grown up in a big
Yeah,
family, so you're probably pretty used to that stuff.
yeah, exactly. You know, we've been not just brothers, obviously, our whole lives, but we've always been really close brothers, meaning we've always lived with each other all the way up until, in our 20s and late 20s. And then to be in a band together since teenagers, it's just a blessing. And we definitely know that now when we're in our 50s. But, we're brothers. Of course, and we're business partners. So there's a daily basis of some kind of argument or some kind of disagreement when it comes to the business side of it. But we, like you said, we're used to it. You can't run a business without really going for it, and with your business partner, sometimes you got to have it out. And the main thing is we're brothers, and the 5 minutes later, we both forgot about whatever argument it might have been. We move on and we make sure that it's the right decision, whether it's business or just the important parts of life. And we are brothers, so we do fight, but we are super close and business partners and best of friends.
Yeah, so it's bound to be a bit of a roller coaster sometimes. One of the things I always note in the interviews and always watching your live performance, you guys always seem to have fun. You know what I mean? And it seemed quite relaxed, like it's for music that's so brutal over a long period. You really seem to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like it's not so grim and like the music is grim and hectic, but you always look like you're having
Yeah,
fun, like you
yeah.
really.
And again, it's pretty much, it's genuine. We do have a blast. I mean, I remember when we were super young and just getting into music, and I really took up drums at a super young age before I knew heavy metal. It was just AC/DC and Led Zeppelin, plus all the Southern rock that my oldest brother was turning me and John onto.
Yeah, of
But
course.
I just remember that all me and John really wanted to do was get home from school and get in the garage and just start messing around. We didn't care if there was people watching. This is before a band. We didn't know if we were going to be a band, but I remember us both fully agreeing that there's nothing more fun than just kind of messing around with instruments and guitars and jam, and we're still that way at our age now. We still have an absolute desire to jam, and
Yeah.
that's just one of those things where we enjoy it. And then of course we're lucky enough and fortunate enough to be in a band that's successfully doing it and can do it for a living and see 25 different countries a year and go and really do some serious touring. And again, it goes right back to there's nothing more fun for me personally than sitting behind my drum kit and playing, whether it's in front of nobody or in front of a lot of people. And my brother and Trevor, I think, are pretty much the same way, and that's why it's been a long time career of just having a good time and smiling on stage, and we can't help it. It's just pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly sustains it, doesn't it, if you're having fun, and it sort of it carries through. The last time you come out to Australia, I could see it in countless videos over the years. Yeah, you really look like you're having
Yeah.
an absolute ball, and like you said, because the schedule is pretty busy. Because I seen an amazing tour you've got coming up in April and May next year in the States, that Amana Marth and Cannibal Corpse and yourself and Frozen Soul. That just what a tour! That's ridiculous, man. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, we're happy and we're fortunate to be invited to that. And we did the US tour with the Amon guys, and they cannot
Yeah.
be any kinder as human beings. I mean, what nice people, and good friends of ours now. So, we jumped at the opportunity because they are family now, and they treat us like family. Those guys are huge. They put a lot of effort, money, and thought into their shows and their production and stuff, and it shows. And we're very proud and honored to be a part of it again.
Yeah, they yeah, they put in so much effort. I've interviewed them before, and I mean, they're just, and what I hear from friends in bands and press, they're just genuine, lovely people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is that's fantastic. Yeah, that'll be a great tour. I wish we had tours like that. That's
I know.
that's
Yeah.
phenomenal. That is.
Yeah, man.
So that's going to come up next year. So you got to your schedule. I suppose the tour cycle is going to go for a while before you even contemplate writing the next album, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure, man. We are in no hurry. I mean, for us, this album is still like, the smell of new, the smell of new
Yeah,
car. It's like a new car smell. I mean, this album came out January 13th of whatever you would call it, last year, this year,
yeah,
last year. And so, we will push this album and enjoy these songs. Cause that's the other thing is these songs go across so well live that we're learning that it's really fun to play these songs live. So that's another reason. We're just going to enjoy this album while it's out, while it's released, and let it ride.
yeah. I've seen some of your set lists and some of your live sets as well across different continents, and it's very well integrated with the old and the new. Which I think even Dying of Everything touches that on as well. You've got tracks on there that could easily be on your first couple of albums as well. So it's a good, the set would be pretty, solid, I could imagine. And that's what you want. Yeah. If the new songs are going down a treat, that's even better, isn't it? Because sometimes some bands, they hear a new song and people are like, that's not what you want, So, but you guys, like I said earlier, are very consistent. So,
yeah. And, it's always a challenge and a fight because, you're only as relevant and only as good as your last album. And I think this is probably our most powerful album. So it's hard for us not to want to perform these songs live because we are so excited about them. But also we know, man, we are fans of heavy metal, and I wouldn't want to see Slayer come through and them only play new songs.
Exactly.
I want to hear the old ones. So, we're fans of the music. We know people are waiting for stuff off Cause of Death and Slowly Rot. And so we try our best to make sure that we're throwing in songs off of many releases and the ones that people are dying to hear.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be, I think it'll work out just perfect. Yeah. Cause it's as I said, kudos again to the album. Cause it's really, I think that last kind of cycle of those 3 albums is very solid, but
right on.
As you touched on, I think this is a real firecracker. So it'll be, I can't wait personally to see it live. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, right on, man.
Yes, and you'll be here in January, so that's going to come around real quick. So
for sure. And again, we don't get down there enough. So we could not be more excited about it, and we're hoping that the fans are excited. And we're gonna bring a killer show because again, man, with 11 albums now, we know what they want. They want the old stuff. They want to hear the stuff that makes them happy, and with those albums that they own. But also we're going to give them a big taste of this new album because we're super proud of it. So, looking forward to seeing everybody in January for sure.
Yeah, it'll be great, man. And I heard a lot of shows are nearly sold out pretty much already. So awesome. They're down to low numbers, which as expected. So which is good.
Awesome.
So, awesome. Thank you so much for your time, and can't wait to catch you in January.
Cool, man. We will see you in January, and we know the Aussies always show up. We're going to see some packed venues, man. We're looking forward to it.
It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee, man. All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for your time, and catch you in January.
Right on, man.
Take care, man.
Yep.
See ya.
Yep. Cheers.
With extension sets, spread wings of hell and door. Calculated readings, my words inscribed in stone.